네, day 22번 연습을 시작하겠습니다. She ran with her speed back to the little door. 구조는 2번 구조가 두 개가 사용이 되었고요. She didn't run with her speed back to the little door. Didn't she run with her speed back to the little door? I ran with her speed back to my room. You must run with your speed back to your room. I didn't run with your speed back to my room. Did you run with your speed back there? He didn't run with your speed back to her. I will run with your speed back to you. But the door was shut again. 구조는 1번입니다. And 다른 문장을 만들어 보면 Was the door shut again? Wasn't the door shut again? The door wasn't shut again. And this room was shut again. Was this room shut again? And this door was closed again. This door was opened again. The office was cleaned again. Was the office cleaned again? Wasn't the office cleaned again? The office was cleaned again. Window wasn't closed. Wasn't the window closed? The window was closed. Why was the window closed? Wasn't the door shut again? The door was shut again. And the key was lying on the glass table as before. 구조는 2번 구조가 2번 사용이 되었고 Was the key lying on the table as before? Wasn't the key lying on the table as before? The key wasn't lying on the table as before. A book, 다른 문장을 만들어 보면 A book was lying on the table as before. Some food was lying in the fridge as before. Many books were lying on the bookshelves as before. Was the key lying on the glass table as before? The key was lying on the glass table as before. The key will be lying on the desk as before. Will the key be lying on the table as before? I was lying on the grass as before. Things are worse than ever, thought Alice. 구조는 1번 구조입니다. 앞에서도 구조입니다. Things are worse than ever, thought Alice. Are things worse than ever? Thought Alice. Things aren't worse than ever, thought Alice. Things are better than ever, I said. Things are best. Things are better than ever. Things are worse than ever. Are things worse than ever? Are things better than ever? Are things worse than ever? Asked Alice. Things aren't worse than ever, thought Alice. Things are better than ever, said Alice. Are things better than ever? Aren't things better than ever? Things aren't better than ever, said Alice. For I never was so small as this before. 구조는 2번 구조입니다. 2번 구조가 하나 사용이 되었고 For I was never so small. I never was so small as this before. For I never was so happy as this before. For I never was so scared as before. I never was happy as before. I never was so small. I never was so big as before. You never were so fat as this before. He never was so kind as this before. She never was so smart as this before. I was so small as this before. never 빼고 생각을 해보면 I was so happy as this before. I was so scared as before. Was I scared? Was I so scared as before? As before? As this before? Was I so happy as this before? Why were you happy as this before? 이렇게 쓸 수 있겠습니다. 또 as she said this word, her foot slipped. 구조는 5번 구조가 사용이 되었고요. As I said this word, you are very happy. As I went to school, the teachers were waiting me. As I studied hard, my parents were very happy. 또는 as he said this word, his hand slipped. As she looked these pictures, her foot slipped. As I moved this box, I dropped down. First, she saw that she had fallen into the sea. 구조는 5번과 2번이 사용이 되었습니다. 그래서 이제 사용식이나 이렇게 바꿔보면 She didn't think that she had fallen into the sea. Did she think that she had fallen into the sea? Didn't she think that she had fallen into the sea? And I thought that I had fallen into rivers. I thought that my treasure was stolen by the thief. I thought that he had stolen the treasure in my room. Did you think that you had fallen into the sea? He didn't think that he had fallen into a river. He thought that he had fallen into the river. First, she thought that she hadn't changed a lot. She didn't think that she hadn't changed a lot. Did he think that he changed a lot? Didn't he think that he had changed a lot? But soon she remembered that she cried a lot. 구조는 5번 구조가 사용이 되었고, but soon I remembered that I cried a lot. I remembered that you came here. I remembered that I was happy. I remember that I was very happy. I remember that my parents punished me very often when I was young. Did you remember that you cried a lot? She remembered that she bought bags a lot. Did you remember that you missed me a lot? That made the pool of tears. 구조는 2번이 사용이 되었고, that made the pool of tears. Did that make the pool of tears? And that didn't make a pool of tears. You make many cake for me, and they made many treasures in the room. She made a lot of clothes in the castle. Didn't you make the pool of tears? You didn't make the pool of tears. I want to make the pool of tears. We will make the pool of money. Will we make the pool of money? We want to make the pool of money. I wish I hadn't cried so much. 구조는 5번 구조가 사용이 되었고요. I wish I hadn't cried so much. I wish I hadn't go there. I wish I hadn't studied hard. I wish he hadn't studied hard. I wish I hadn't drunk so much. I wish I hadn't hesitated so much. I wish I hadn't met her. She swam, trying to find her way out. 구조는 4번, 3번이 사용이 되었고요. I swam trying to find the treasure. I run trying to pass the test. I study trying to pass the test. I practice English trying to speak with foreigner very fluently. So I swam trying to find his way out. I swam trying to lose my weight. I didn't swim trying to lose my weight. Did you swim trying to lose your weight? She walked reading a book. She didn't walk reading a book. Did she walk reading a book? 이렇게 하면 되겠습니다.